I will be your facilitator, and I would like to also extend our warm welcome to colleagues who are joining us online. This event, the fourth edition of the Mekong Regional Land Forum that is being held here in Bangkok in the next 3 days, including today. And we have 250 people that are joining us here in person. This is a really fantastic turnout. This is such a great crowd in the room we have today in this ballroom. Let me invite the speakers for the opening remarks sessions to up here before I go through basic housekeeping and the agenda for today. I would like to invite His Excellency Pedro Zwahlen, the Ambassador of Switzerland to Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand. Please come to the stage, and please thank you for giving him a warm welcome. And next, we will have with us Mr. Markus Rimmele, the first Secretary and Political Counselor of the Embassy of Federal Republic of Germany in Bangkok. I hope I pronounced your name close enough. Thank you. I've been practicing this all night. And third, Madame Cassandre is not here with us yet, but when she's here, we will connect with her. Fourth is Mr. Sisampon Pedro. I hope I pronounced your name correctly too, sir. Mr. Sisampon is the Deputy Director General of the International Finance and Cooperation Departments of the Ministry of Finance of the Government of Laos, PDR. Mr. Sisampon is a very instrumental and important political partner for the MRLG. He has been providing pivotal support role to the success of this regional program to date. And last but not least, we have Micah Ingalls. Could you please come to the stage, Micah? Micah is the team leader of the Mekong Region Land Governance Project. We will be also hearing insights from him and these three others fantastic speakers in these opening sessions. Let me share with you a few basic housekeeping just to get us going. For those of you who are joining us online, I'm looking at colleagues who are monitoring so many screens on the side. Is everything okay? Colleagues online can hear us? Excellent. Now, translation equipments. Do all of us have translation equipments? Please pull it up, check it. For English, it's channel 1, Lao is channel 2, Vietnamese is channel 3, Khmer is channel 4, and Burmese channel 5. It's important you leave these equipment in this room and not taking them with you when you go to the breakout rooms. They will not work in the breakout rooms, and there will be translations device using the same channel coding that are working in each of those breakout rooms. Just leave them here on the chair and then just go to your breakout room sessions later. I will explain a bit more when we get closer to those sessions. They all working? Do you understand what I'm saying in whatever your most comfortable language? Nodding is good, thank you. And I hope it's working for colleagues on the lines as well. The mobile phone. Can you pull out your mobile phone, please? And please do not tell me you have a smartphone. please pull out your mobile phone and put it on silent mode. You're going to need your phone for a bunch of interesting exercise we'll have together. Could you please check your Wi-Fi connection? If you haven't connected yet, behind your card, the card that you're wearing, there is Wi-Fi QR code. You scan it and then you connect. Could you do that, please? So that we can use your phone to do some exercise together. Okay? Ready? Then we want to test that it's working with some Slidos. Colleague, could you pull up Slidos, please? We want to test us to make sure that everyone in the room could have access to Wi-Fi and that they can get on to Slido. I'm looking at this side. Could you please bring up the Slido for us to test? Yes. Could you pull up your phone, scan it, okay. Ready? Now when you go in there, we're going to test 2 questions. Could we go to the first question, please? Should people scan this one? Okay. Could you, for those who haven't scanned, could you scan the QR code up there, please? And that should take you to the question, what country you are from? And we can see, oh, Myanmar is leading. And folk beyond Southeast Asia, 20%, that is interesting. Beyond East Asia is catching up. You would need a lot of coffee for those coming from some odd time zone this morning. Excellent. We have already 95 people joining the poll in this room. It shows that Slido works. This is testing, but you're going to need your phone and internet throughout the 3-day conference. Excellent. Now, let's move to the next question, please. We ask you to use one word, not one sentence, one word to describe what's on your mind now. Now, at this very moment, what's on your mind? And you know this is anonymous, right? If you write electricity bill, that's okay. We won't judge. We won't know who wrote it anyway. Excited, like me, I'm really excited about this 2.5 day we're together. Learn to know and climate change, great, curious, connection. Ooh, what will I get from joining this event? And then someone said, coffee, that's my kind of people. Anticipation, expectation. Tenure, it seems like tenure is coming up in multiple ways. Open-minded. And there's a few people who cheat a bit. We said one word and they've come up with 5 sentences combined. Networking, excellent. We were asking these questions because people have done the analysis that our mind, it's like a monkey. We think about hundreds of things at the same time, and that's normal. So you're coming in today, checking into this forum with a bunch of things on your mind. Probably you'll be looking at the phone. Is my kid's school teacher is texting me now, what's going on? We all do that. But let's try to be together, listen to each other, and one of the things we ask you to do, use the space intentionally, share the space with colleagues that are coming from different spaces who may not be as fluent in English. Speak slowly like I'm trying to do. Sometimes I get excited and I go really fast. But tell me, wave something, then I will slow down. So these are the things we'll be doing together. So please use as much energy you can, focusing on some of these interesting conversations. We'll be diving deep together. The Mekong Land Forum is a multi-stakeholder platform created for sharing good practices and innovation, developing capacities of multiple stakeholders across all spaces, offering networking opportunity and promoting collaboration among land stakeholders across the entire region. And the entire region, we are concentrating the program in Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and Myanmar. And sometime, if you're new to this conversation, you'll be hearing colleagues using the jargon CLMV very often, referring to these 4 countries where the program has heavy direct hands-on investment, in addition to regional policy influencing at the Mekong and the ASEAN level. The MRLG and our partners, the FAO and the Land Portal Foundation, have successfully organized 3 regional land forums already. The first one was held in Hanoi in 2016, and the second one was in Bangkok in 2018, and in 2021, remember those years, it was held online. It's been co-financing by the Swiss government, the government of Luxembourg, and the government of Germany. The 4th edition in the next 2.5 days, this 4th forum, is a hybrid forum. I mentioned early on, we have more than 200 participants joining us in this ballroom right now, and 700 people have registered to join us online. Can I ask you to raise your hand, including Excellency and distinguished panelists here as well? How many of you who have been to the first forum back in 2016? Very good hand number. Or let me ask you this way. Who have joined the forum one time? One time, which means today. Oh, interesting. Okay, who have joined 2 times? Okay, all right, about 20. Who have joined 3 times? Oh, you are incredible soul. That was purely online in 2021. Remember, we all were figuring things out, like you spoke to people after you made your 5-minute intervention and you realized that you were unmute all the time. Remember those days? I admire you. Now, who have joined 4 times? Could you raise your hand? Whoa, excellent, 20, around 20 people. Cool. So this year's forum will be focusing on 3 interrelated issues. The first one, which is track 1 that you could see on the agenda, is on how to secure land rights as a climate solutions. And the second themes, or the second objective of this 4th edition, is to focus on exploring just transition in agrarian and food system. What does that mean? How does that translate on the ground across spaces, across country, with fast-changing socio-political context? And the third objective is focusing on understanding or learning from processes, especially policy-making processes, trying to figure out what could be a more effective and collaborative way on policy-making to improve the situations in the land sector in this region. So that's the background of why we're here today. Let me shift the gear and focusing on these important insights we'll be hearing from this excellent 4 speakers here who are on the stage with us. To kickstart, I would like to invite His Excellency Pedro Zwahlen, the ambassador to Switzerland, to Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam and Thailand, to share with us the insights you have of land governance in this region from where you sit, sir. You could make the intervention from literally where you sit, with the mic over there.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, Solin. Now I see the reason why I might speak rather over there, but I will raise my voice a little bit. Dear Mr. Simpopon Petahuang, Deputy Director General of the Department of International Cooperation and Finance of the Ministry of the Lao PDR, dear Mr. Markus Rimmele, Political Counselor at the Embassy of Germany in Bangkok, distinguished representatives of the governments and civil societies of Cambodia, Laos PDR and Vietnam, and dear partners from Myanmar, ladies and gentlemen, people who make a living from the land on which they live, small farmers in particular, they feel very strongly about their land. Obviously, it embodies their life, their security, their whole existence. I learned that as a young man already with Swiss farmers who have much less challenges than the farmers here in the region, but all the more important it is for the farmers here to secure the connection they have, since it means so much to their lives. Many often rights on these lands are passed through generations, but they're never formally recognized. When I went to the north of Laos a few months ago, I saw that in person. I talked to people who received finally a document stating that the land they were working on and living on was theirs. And this is what this project is about. It's a great pleasure for me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you on behalf of Switzerland to the 4th Mekong Regional Land Forum. Switzerland is honored to co-host this forum, which brings together the region's leading institutions and individuals engaged in advancing sustainable and equitable development in Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar and Vietnam through much-needed reforms in the land and forestry sectors. Reforms that will not only ensure the well-being of the people of the Mekong region, but also protect its natural environment and the livelihood of future generations. Switzerland recognizes the profound significance of the Mekong region, its people and its natural heritage, and stands as an advocate and partner for resilient green growth in the Mekong region. The Mekong River, flowing through 6 countries, is among the world's most biologically diverse and economically significant river systems. It sustains nearly 70 million people by providing essential resources for food, water and livelihoods. 70 million. Ladies and gentlemen, a number you might all have heard, but it's good to think of it again. And the lower Mekong Basin accounts for approximately 25% of global rice exports. A quarter of global rice exports comes from that region. However, the Mekong region faces significant challenges from rapid economic growth and urbanization, extensive infrastructure projects, and more frequent extreme weather events due to climate change. Social and ecological changes, with man-made global warming being a root cause to many of them, are happening at an enormous scale. Often the most vulnerable to these changes are the least equipped to deal with them. When we have only a small piece of land, it's much, much more difficult to protect you and your safety and security than if you have a big plot. Political commitments to addressing climate change, however, have yet to be fulfilled. Decisive, informed action is needed, not only by the public sector, but also the private sector and civil society. Switzerland supports climate-smart policies that empower local communities, reinforce customary rights and women's land rights, and encourage responsible agricultural investments. Climate-smart policies, meaning whatever policy you have or you're designing, always check what will it mean a few years down the road when climate change and global warming is hitting that very region. Secure land rights for smallholder farmers are fundamental to food security and rural livelihoods. Participatory land management and community forestry remain key for sustainable development and poverty reduction across the Mekong region. We are at an important moment now in our collective efforts to strengthen land governance reform. Switzerland concludes the Mekong Region Land Governance Project, MRLG, very soon. That project, that whole conglomerate of projects, was initiated in 2014, and it has been the largest project ever on land governance to be implemented in the Mekong region, and it has been Switzerland's flagship initiative in land governance. Since the start of that project, significant gains have been achieved, such as the passage of more than 40 pieces of legislation. So when I meet the small farmers who now can call their land own legally and officially documented, this again is based, of course, on the legal reforms, on all these laws that were passed in the region. 40 pieces of legislation throughout the region. And these legislative reforms have impacted the lives of more than 38 million smallholder farmers, indigenous people, and forest-dependent communities to this day. Each of these reforms have been achieved through constructive dialogue, complicated legislation, involving political leaders, civil society, and the private sector. A few months ago, I had the opportunity to visit the local communities, as I mentioned already, in northern Laos, where I spoke to these smallholder farmers and learned from them directly how the implementation of land rights, and in particular the issuing of land titles, impacts their daily life. On behalf of Switzerland and our partners from Germany and Luxembourg, I would like to congratulate the Mekong Region Land Governance Project Team, its alliance members and partners on their important achievement over the past 10 years. I think this is the moment to give an applause to that team. 10 years leading to these great achievements. And these efforts and achievements culminate in this week's forum, ladies and gentlemen. But the mandate to secure sustainable and inclusive reforms in land and forest governance remains. We must continue in our collective efforts, not only to reform the legal frameworks underpinning good and accountable governance, but also to implement them in an equitable and transparent manner. That's what we are all here for. I wish you all the best of success over the next 3 days as we continue the constructive dialogue that has been crucial to land and forest governance reforms in the Mekong region. Okun on, Kop Chai, Chi Su Wa, come on, thank you.
Ambassador, thank you very much. We love your pronunciations. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Markus Rimmele, the First Secretary and Political Counselor of the Embassy of Federal Republic of Germany and Thailand. You can speak here or also at the, which one do you prefer? Okay, let's. I can see the green light.
Do you hear me? Yes?
Could you increase the volume a bit, please, for the mic?
So it's better now? You can hear me well?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Distinguished guests and participants, dear Ambassador, distinguished representatives of the governments of Cambodia, Laos, PDR, and Vietnam, representatives of donor agencies and development partners, distinguished representatives of civil society, academia, and of the private sector. Germany stands with a steadfast commitment to drive sustainable development, equity, and climate action, both in Europe and worldwide. Our federal government is firmly committed to the accelerated implementation of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Rooted in a holistic strategy for the Indo-Pacific region, Germany is committed to life in dignity, education for all, decent work, and the long-term preservation of natural resources. This can only be achieved through gender equality and empowerment of women and the fulfillment of obligations from the Paris Climate Agreement and the Convention on Biological Diversity. Together with regional governments and civil society, Germany and its European partners fund landmark initiatives like the Mekong Region Land Government Project that expand secure and equitable land tenure, empower smallholders, and safeguard vital forests. Projects co-financed by Germany provide technical support and foster alliances to protect customary land rights, resolve conflicts, and ensure local communities actively shape policy and practice. We invest in advancing sustainable forestry, strengthening forest law enforcement, supporting forest monitoring, and promoting reforestation to restore crucial ecosystems and fight deforestation. Our partnerships aim to align regional timber trade with international standards so local communities benefit from responsible resource stewardship. Central to this commitment to combating deforestation and promoting resilient ecosystems is the land and forest tenure security of smallholder farmers as the legitimate rights bearers and stewards of these precious resources. German engagement in the Mekong region also channels investment to catalyze innovation and green growth. Through strategic collaboration, from mechanization service centers to digital agriculture and vocational training, regional farmers gain access to technology and expertise that drive productivity and sustainability. By improving green finance and investment policies and promoting responsible investment, Germany helps to empower the transition to climate-smart agriculture, green energy, and resilient rural economies. At the heart of these commitments is the firm conviction that climate neutrality is not only a statutory target, but also a moral imperative. These ambitions reflect our broader global strategy to foster social justice, sustainability, and prosperity for all. Germany's vision for equitable, sustainable transformation in the Mekong will be realized through policy reform, strong partnerships, and leadership that ensures land, forests, and rural investments secure a brighter, greener future. Germany's partnership in the Mekong region land governance project, not only through co-financing, but also through complementary support from GIZ, is a clear embodiment of these commitments. We join our colleagues from Switzerland and Luxembourg in congratulating the MRLG team and the broad community of organizations, state entities, civil society actors, and private sector partners whose unprecedented efforts have made this project such a success. At this forum, we have a rare opportunity to bring this community of fellow pioneers together, those who not only wish for a better future, but also do the work that needs to be done to get there. Germany is honored to be a part of this shared endeavor and to support this forum. I wish you all a meaningful and constructive forum over these 3 days and a better and more inclusive future for the Mekong. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rimmele. Next, I would like to invite Deputy Director General Si Sampon Pat Dao Huang to offer your insights, sir.
Excellencies, Ambassador Pedro, Zwahlen, Swiss Ambassador to Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand, Mr. Markus, Rimmele, political counselors of embassies of the Republic of Germany to Thailand, Mr. Dr. Micah Ingalls, team leaders of MRLGs, representatives from the governments of Vietnam, my colleagues from Laos PDR, from the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Investment Promotion and Management Committee from the Price Office, esteemed colleagues from international development partners, organizations, representatives from civil societies, academics, and from private sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the Ministry of Finance, as well as the governments of the Laos PDR, it is my great honor to warmly welcome you all to the Mekong region Land Forums 2025. Today, we gather as stakeholders committed to sustainable and equitable management of our land resources, which are very vital to the development, livelihoods, and well-being of our nations. Land is not a physical resource, but it is also foundations of our culture, our economy, and environment. It is effective management and equitable distributions are very critical to fostering inclusive growth, reducing poverty, and ensuring environmental sustainability. As such, Mekong Region Land Forum today serves as a crucial platform for our dialogue, knowledge exchange, and collaboration. As you know, as mentioned by MC, that we have successfully organized 3 regional land forums in Hanoi in 2016, and 2 years later in Bangkok in 2018, and we organized online in 2021. And today, this year forums will focus on the intersections of climate change, agriculture, transition, and policy reforms. On crucial challenges that affect land governance in my countries, Laos, PDR, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Myanmar. As a region continue to strengthen responses to these pressing issues, the forum will offer vital platform for advancing dialogue, sharing practical experiences, and exploring inclusive solutions to ensure secure tenure rights and sustainable land use. We, representatives from Mekong region, will contribute significantly to shaping the regional agenda on land governance and reinforcing collaboration between stakeholders committed to equitable and sustainable land and resources management. Based on our priorities are reforms in the land sector and natural resources management. These reforms are not only about economic transformation, but also about securing the livelihoods of our rural communities, protecting customary land rights, and ensuring responsible stewardship of our forests and landscape. We recognize that land-based investment must serve the interests of our farmers, smallholders, and local communities of all ethnicities, contributing to poverty reduction and resilience in the face of climate and economic uncertainty. I would like to share with you that our government's ongoing reform reflect the commitment to sustainable environment and inclusive growth. This year, we have strengthened our policy to categorize responsible investment, especially emerging the sectors such as eco-friendly agriculture, energy, health, and education. The revised investment promotion law provides a stable environment for innovation and entrepreneurship while safeguarding the resources and promoting the green growth. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenges ahead are formidable external economic shock, climate threats, and imperative to balance equitable growth with environmental integrity, with shared vision, responsible leadership, and relentless collaboration. We can transform these challenges into opportunity. The Laos PDR stands ready together with its regional and international partners to advance effective land investment and governance reform for well-being of our people and the sustainability of our region. I am confident that through our collective efforts, we will identify innovative solutions, share best practices, and forge stronger partnerships that will drive forward our land policy and management strategies. Let us approach this engagement with open mind, a spirit of cooperation, and share commitment to the sustainable development of our land resources. Before concluding, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the government of Switzerland, Germany, and Luxembourg for your strong support, commitment, and partnership toward the productive discussion ahead, and confident that this meeting will come up with the best means of pave the way for the future strengthen our partnership, especially land use practices and land policy management in our region, lead to even more effective cooperation. Once again, I especially appreciate the tireless works of MRLG team, not only in organizing this forum, but also through years of very effective cooperation and partnership in my countries in the Laos PDR. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you all successful and engaging meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sisamporn. Last but not least, I would like to invite Micah Ingalls, the team leader of the MRLG program in this region. to give us your insightful reflections of your journey and what you've learned that you could share with us today. Micah, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Honorable Ambassador and distinguished representatives from Switzerland, Germany, and Laos PDR, distinguished partners from government, civil society, and the private sector, ladies and gentlemen from Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Vietnam, and the broader ASEAN region. It's a profound honor and privilege to welcome you all to this landmark gathering, the fourth Mekong Regional Land Forum, marking the culmination of a decade-long journey together. Today, as we meet at this pivotal moment, we celebrate not only the tangible strides that we have made together towards securing the land and forest rights in our region, but also the immense spirit of collaboration and mutual trust that have been the foundation of our shared success together. Land, we remember, is more than just a resource. It's the lifeblood of our communities. It's the livelihood basis for millions, a wellspring of cultural identity and a shared heritage. Across the Mekong, the relationship of people to their land is deeply interwoven into the fabric of society. Yet this relationship has faced mounting pressure from competing interests, from infrastructure development to agribusiness investments to ill-conceived conservation initiatives, placing the land rights of the most vulnerable, smallholder farmers, women, and indigenous peoples at risk. Over the past 10 years, we have all stood together at the crossroads of these challenges to secure and defend the rights of those who need it most. We have worked together to recognize the customary tenure rights of forest-dependent communities and foster responsible investments in agriculture that protect key environmental values, respect smallholders, and promote equitable growth, all the while championing the equal rights of women and girls as rights bearers and crucial actors in the sustainable development of the Mekong region. These are not easy tasks. Political and social complexities, diverse stakeholder interests, and conflicting legal frameworks have tested us at every step. But it's precisely in navigating these complexities that the power and necessity of collaboration shine brightest. MRLG's strength lies in the notion that we are better together, that we can overcome even the most daunting challenges when we find common ground and cooperate toward a shared vision. Together, the MRLG alliances have built bridges of trust and dialogue, transcending political differences to focus on shared goals, goals that serve the interests and futures of those who depend on secure access to lands and forests. It's in this spirit of shared hope and mutual commitment to working together that we find common ground, overcome barriers, and forge a better future that we come together today at the Mekong Regional Land Forum. We will explore lessons learned, hear from the perspectives of diverse experts, debate potential solutions for the recognition of customary tenure, the promotion of responsible investments in the agri-food sector, and through these to tackle the drivers and impacts of global climate change. None of this progress would have been possible without the unwavering commitment and cooperation of all the partners gathered here today. To our political partners from Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam, you have led the way in policy reform and implementation, demonstrating leadership and dedication despite the complexities of land governance and the sometimes adverse political pressures and competing interests that you yourselves also face. We honor you for choosing to stand on the right side of history. To our civil society partners, you have been the steadfast voice of our communities, advocates for accountability, transparency, and public participation, and our most valuable sources of expertise, knowledge, and insight. We honor you for the courage that you demonstrate by choosing to advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves, and doing so at your own risk. To the private sector, you have shown that responsible investment is not only possible, but also essential for sustainable prosperity in the Mekong region. You have helped to persuasively make the case that the only antidote to irresponsible investment is just and equitable rule of law. And to our valued donors, Switzerland through the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, and to our generous partners from Germany and Luxembourg, your trust and sustained support have been the foundation that enables MRLG's comprehensive and inclusive approach to land governance. Your commitment underscores the shared responsibility that we all bear together toward justice, equity, and sustainability. As we close this chapter of MRLG, we don't dare to be complacent. The reforms we have championed together are not endpoints, but they are stepping stones toward a deeper and more inclusive governance that can adapt to evolving challenges of climate change, demographic shifts, and economic and political transformations. Even today, divisions and turmoil impact our own gathering here, poignantly reminding us of the precarity of our region. There are empty seats here this morning that should be filled with colleagues whose participation has been precluded by conflict, and others who have come today and participate with us here at their own risk. We must therefore reinforce the spirit of collaboration and mutual trust that has been the cornerstone of our co-labor together. We must continue to find common ground, even when our political differences threaten to divide us. Recognizing that secure land and forest rights for smallholder farmers is a commitment that transcends borders, sectors, and agendas. It's crucial to our shared future in the Mekong and by extension to the world. It's our hope that this forum will be a catalyst for renewed commitment, where government, civil society, and the private sector can come together to share lessons learned, scale best practices, and chart pathways for ongoing reforms that are both politically achievable and practically implementable. In closing, I urge us all to remember that land governance is not merely about policies and property. It's about the dignity, identity, and future of generations to come. Together, we can ensure the Mekong region's lands and forests remain a source of life, opportunity, and hope for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Micah, and thank you all the fantastic speakers. By no way I would be trying or attempting to summarize all the richnesses that you have said, but maybe just touch on what I find are really powerful messages that will stay with me as I will go through this 2.5 days forum with you. Starting with His Excellency Zwahlen, I like the way you throw those big numbers back at us. You may be preaching to the choirs, but these numbers keep reminding us of the importance of this work. It's just unthinkable that smallholder farmers, especially indigenous people and ethnic minority, are still struggling with tenure security. And we're talking about 38 million smallholder farmers. And this region, you were saying that is accounted for 1/4 of global rice export. And that number doesn't fail. Each time you throw it back, we all realize no matter how hard it is, we've got to do more. And the second aspect that leading on to Mr. Rimmele's insight, where he was talking about, he take this a bit further in terms of the importance of promoting and investing and expanding the protections of tenure rights and promoting environmental stewardships, because sustainability is key. And we all know how hard it is and how important it is to mobilize green and responsible investment for this region if we were to achieve the outcome we want to see for Mekong land governance. So financing is key. Then His Deputy Director General C. Sampon, you started by focusing on the importance of having all the stakeholders from across spaces coming together, sharing knowledge, exchange ideas, co-thinking the solutions further, and how the government of Vietnam, of Laos continue to invest in green growth as a growth strategy. You investing in ongoing reforms for all of the essential services that are the foundation, that are foundational to green growth and tenure security. And then we've heard from Micah, and what stayed with me is the essence of the realizations of how complex this is. And at the same time, the gravity of not being able to protect smallholders, of not being able to respond and adapt to adverse effects of climate change, of not being able making policies that are progressive and that works for the poor and the most vulnerable, and all of these landowners that a lot of them are ethnic minorities, is not acceptable. And despite the complexity and the gravity, the work have brought people together over the last 10 years from all walks of life. You entrepreneurs investing in responsible businesses, in green growth, you civil society workers, community organizers, and all of you that are policy makers and financiers and development partners are coming together to invest in these collective regional spaces that are rooted, that have foot on the ground in each of those spaces, so it can understand the fast-changing socio-political context in each of the spaces and at the regional level to look for solutions together. And more importantly, I like the way you said that all of you, private sector, government, and civic leaders, come together to speak up for those whose voices are not heard, for those who could not speak for themselves. So with that, I would like you to give our panel discussion these excellent 4 insights. Please give them a big round of applause. Thank you, speakers. You may go back to the front row seat that you find comfortable, and we will proceed with the rest of the agenda. Thank you for setting the stage with your remarkable insights. Do you have the agenda in front of you? This one.